So, Bob Music Man. Yes, sir. I've got a brand new channel on YouTube and it's going to be all music. And for me, what it's going to be is discovering new artists, not dinosaur music like other channels do. I'm looking for artists to critique, and let me tell you a little bit about myself. When I was 3 years old, I began to sing. My dad got tired of it and said, "Boy, why don't you just quit singing? You sing all the time." I began to learn, and you got to understand, I'm 69 years old and I've got a hell of a lot of experience when it comes to singing and music in general. So when I was young, I learned blues, old style blues. And my mother was working, my dad was working, so I was alone at home. My sister's 6 years older than I am, who is dead now. She was at school. So I had to have somebody, help me. So a black maid by the name of Johnson, she was an African-American maid, Johnson, a wonderful person. And AM radio at that time, she would play a lot of blues, old blues. And I began to learn those songs and started to sing blues. Then from there, I got into the YMCA Boys Choir as a soprano. And then I moved on to elementary school where I picked up playing the saxophone. Never could play overtones. I tried and never could get the overtones on the saxophone. So I went to Hargrave Military Academy. I was in their choir and also in their marching band playing an alto saxophone for 5 years in Chatham, Virginia. Then my mother said, "Bobby, you should go to Wingate College," which is now Wingate University in Wingate, North Carolina, and study music and be a music teacher. I wasn't really wanting to be a music teacher. I wanted to be a performer. I went through a lot of problems. I had a vocal teacher that was the head of the department who had sung at the New York City Opera, Metropolitan Opera. Beautiful tenor voice, a beautiful tenor voice. And the problem that I had is that my dad had been so hard on me. I could sing in a choir, but singing a solo I could not do. I could not do it. I tried and I could not do it. So I was taking voice my first semester, I think, or second semester, I'm not sure. And I remember my vocal teacher said, "We've got some students coming in from area schools in Wingate, and they are checking out our music department because you sing a solo." No, I did not want to sing a solo at all. But, so I got up there and I remember I was so nervous because I was singing in front of my peers. You got to understand, guys, I was 18. A lot of these kids in there were 17, 18. Okay. It was awful. I was off pitch, and scared to death. And they started giggling at me, laughing at me. And I went, "I'm done. I'm never going to sing again." And I quit singing altogether, period. I started to major in saxophone instead of voice. Okay, well, at this time, you got to understand, partying was a thing, all of us did. And I basically got out of Wingate, went to Central Piedmont Community College. At Central Piedmont Community College, my mother taught accounting there. I don't even know what I was taking. I think I was taking recreation, cause I've always been an athletic kind of guy, and I was taking recreation, and I got into the choir just for the heck of it. And the teacher really liked me a lot, and she said, "Can you sing solos?" And I did. I still don't think to this day my solos were all that good. She told me that there was a position open at Myers Park Presbyterian Church. Now, Myers Park in Charlotte, North Carolina is affluent. I mean, these are wealthy, old money, very wealthy people. It was a wealthy church. She said they were looking for a tenor section leader for their choir. I thought, why not? And here goes my nose. Welcome to wintertime in Charlotte, North Carolina. It is cold. And when I sneezed, it took me completely off what I was talking about. This was a paid position at Myers Park Presbyterian Church, a paid position. So I went over there and I met Robert Stigall, and he graduated from Juilliard. Very incredibly talented man. He played the organ so well, and they had a pipe organ, and he played it so well. And when I went over there, I mean, pretty much he did scales to see how high I could sing and how low I could sing. He also did sight reading, which I'm fair at sight reading. I got better over the years. Also tonal memory, which tonal memory to me is no big deal. I can hear a whole song and play it in my head. So to make a long story short, he did get me into the choir as a paid section leader. I worked with the sections, helping them with their parts. And I also worked with new singers in the choir to help them to learn more about vocalizing and getting their voices back in good shape for the choir. Guess what Robert Stigall decided to do? He said, "Would you like to do a solo?" Now, I'd sung in quartets a lot, not singing very many solos. So I said yes, and I got into singing solos. I messed up notes at times. At the end, I would get so nervous I would forget what the notes were, but I'd be on pitch. Now, the other thing that I did was I stayed in that choir for about 12 years. And it was a great learning experience. And I got to meet Robert and his wife, Ann, were wonderful people that taught me. I learned more from them than I have learned from anybody in music, period. So I went to St. John's Baptist Church, got in their choir, and sang some solos there. And then from there, I started getting into the oratorio singers. I got into this singing group, that singing group, this solo, that solo, and it just goes on and on. Now, this channel, what I'm going to be doing is discovering new vocal people that are singing. Also, I really admire people that can write their own music. I've always admired people that can do that. So this channel is going to be music only, and I hope you enjoy it, and maybe I might can pick up some subscribers. Who knows? Peace, guys.